No, of course, because this doesn't count, so everything's going to be perfect.
Wait till we actually start the show.
I know you're out there. One person is dedicated to each of these streams, and you're just waiting for me to say, okay, 3, 2, 1. There goes all the sync issues. Like it's a guy like Tony wait, is that his name? That around the horn guy. He has one big button, and he just slams it just to ruin a stream.
Wait, hold on a second. Was this a cold open?
You know what? It is. Welcome to
All right.
week 7.
I love it. I think it's great.
That was no, it wasn't, but that was me, because if you're just watching this right now, you don't understand. Me and Dave, we get together in this little StreamYard room, and then we talk a little bit. It's normal. It's kind of like what you're seeing right now. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, once we're like, okay, let's start the show in 3, 2, 1, there's sync issues. Things start going off. I'm on delay to him. He's on delay to me. I go, wait, let's pause this. And then it's perfectly fine. There's a reverse Patrick Swayze ghost who's just ruining things. There's no Swayze out there. It's just the pricks waiting in that Beetlejuice waiting room to go to the afterlife, and one is affiliated with each StreamYard stream. And anyway, I know you guys don't care about that, but you probably do care about week 7 in the NFL. Big week for the Chiefs. I teased Rashee Rice coming back last week, but who cares about who needs Rashee Rice when we continually have Brashard Smith's over on receiving yards? I told you last week, he doesn't get many snaps, but I was watching the game with my friends. I told you, if 24 is on the field, it's a 100% chance they're throwing to him. Every play he came on the field, I believe all but one, the ball was actually headed his direction in the air. And one of my friends who didn't really know about him, they're like, I don't get it. Does he have like the best hands in the league? Why the hell is he not out there? I'm like, look, I don't know. All I know is if he's on the field, he's getting a reception. 0 snaps, I believe, in the first half. But by the end of the game, he had his designed screens, and he went well over his like 12 and a half or whatever it was. Interesting to see if that goes up yet again with Rashee Rice returning. But what are you thinking about those Chiefs now? I've seen them number 1 on people's rankings. It's funny the difference a week makes. A 3-3 number 1 top overall ranking, and now the Bills. People aren't even saying they're not going to win the division. Now it's the Patriots division. 1 week can change a lot, Mr. Dave.
Yeah, it can, man. I opened up one of my shows on over on OddsShopper with like, we've now reached the point of the year where everybody thinks they know everything about every team, and that's how they're going to bet these teams, right? Like that's just the way it is. Fade the Bills, hammer the Chiefs, 12.5-point favorites, right? Like everybody knows everything about every team. Fade the Jets. I'm not. God, Aaron Glenn's a bad coach, but yeah, like gotta fade the Jets. Gotta bet Carolina as a road favorite this week. Go ahead.
And by the way, the ghost is in. He's in. We've started talking about football, and he started messing with me and you's delays towards each other. Now, you viewers aren't going to know. You viewers aren't going to see this because you have someone like me who cares enough to take our hard copy files and edit it out. But he's out. Swayze's out. I got a little extra juice today, despite the fact that I probably have Sicilian bags under my eyes for not sleeping too much. But on the Patreon, my favorite thing is the Rangers are dead to me. Now, I know that's a hockey team. They're dead to me. They're on the ban list. By the end of the season, everyone's on the ban list. You have to be able to change your perspective as you go on. You think you know about all those teams, but I like to tell you, just like Vin Diesel, that you never had your car, because as I keep trying to tell you guys, you know that song, Destination? Do you know that song, Destination Unknown?
Yeah.
Do you know? Infestation Unknown. Look at this infestation. It couldn't be any more cut and dry. It's why you should never have to believe in rigging when Here you go. You want the leaked script? Every week I come out here with the donkey charts. And what do we normally see? Like, 4 rats, 3 just look at this. How can you look at this and say, you know what? Next week I'm going heavy on those public betting favorites. Look at all these teams you thought you knew. And now you're probably going to be betting against them. Always chasing your tail. I mean, that, Dave, is a full infestation.
Yeah, not good. I was on some of those. I did like the Bills -3.5. Was on the Cardinals. That was my fishy line of the week. The Cardinals at 6.5. Then it moves to 9.5, Andy, and they still almost win with Jacoby Brissett, which was crazy. Lions, like the Chiefs, was on the Eagles, but I was passively on the Eagles. I said, man, this is one of those
the old passive Eagles. I was
it's
on the Eagles,
on the record.
But
it's no. Yeah. It's on the record. I bet the Eagles. But what I mean is, I said, if they lose, like if they don't come out and flatten the Giants, I'm reassessing everything, because it could be. I had this big monologue about it. I was like, this could be the 2023 Eagles again, and now they might be down Quinyon Mitchell, which would be a big problem. Dickerson's been hurt. The offense isn't working. Nothing's working. So essentially it was like, all right, I'm going to bet the Eagles here. And if the Eagles come out flat, we've got a problem. And I think we have a problem. So we'll see. But I was told to throw my money away for betting the Panthers. Again, hit and miss on this for me. But to your point, it speaks volumes. Now, at the same time, like I don't think the right move every week, and I'm not saying you're suggesting this, although you might be, is to just go down this list and bet the opposite side of every single one of those games. Like there are going to be times where it is the right spot. But generally speaking, what I always take away from this is people go into these games with the assumption that the one side can't lose. And whenever I'm told, like, dude, there's no way they don't cover, there's probably a good chance they're not covering, and they might even lose outright in a lot of these spots, as the Bills did, and as the Eagles did, and as the Colts almost did.
I would never tell anybody to bet the other side of it. As I've always said, there's a pH balance. Like somebody now is going to see all these rats and then start betting the rats, and it will be a favorite week. The NFL has the perfect pH chlorine balance to make sure you're screwed on either side. But all I'm saying is, Dave, that's the whole premise of my half of the show.
You couldn't be more right. Yeah, you're spot on.
I always go searching for the player props because one can fall through the cracks. These Rashard Smith receiving yards can fall through the cracks, and you can hit those relatively easy. You didn't have to sweat out any of those. Those were cashed by the fourth quarter in those previous 2 games. All these are going to lose years off your life, and I know you. If you're a human being, you're parlaying more than one of these. So then you're mostly just throwing your money away. I call them donkey lines in the NHL for a reason. There is just such a high rat factor that you always have to be weary of. I'm not betting. Actually, I did tell you last week, it's very rare that I bet spreads, but I felt great about the Chiefs.
Me too.
And then I said, how can previous NFL players not know that this is not a possibility? So maybe I'm talking about what? Is that the first spread that I told you guys I would happily bet all year? I get it. If you're having fun, like Dave always says, you're at yeah, absolutely. But I'm talking about the people who think they're great better. If people come to me and say, I got the best bet for you, Patriots, I go, you're an asshole. It's immediate. He doesn't have to finish the line. I go, you're an asshole.
Well,
it's
what else?
Simple.
You mentioned it right at the top. By the way, thanks for watching, guys. I love doing this show each week. The Lions last week. All right. So what's the overwhelming public sentiment on the Kansas City Chiefs right now, today, Andy?
Oh, they're the number 1 team in the league.
Can't beat them anymore. They won't lose another game straight. One-way ticket, right? Seriously, expedite them to the Super Bowl. Don't make them, matter of fact, don't make them play another game. Give them a 12-week bye or whatever it is, wherever we're at now.
Yeah, they just lost to Jacksonville, but yeah.
Right. But hey, we'll see you in the Super Bowl, okay? That's where we're at now, because Rashee Rice is back. Dude, Patrick Mahomes looks awesome. And honestly, he looks better than last year. His rushing upside's insane. Dude's playing like a madman, and I love it. I really do. I'm not a big Patrick Mahomes fan, more because they beat us in the Super Bowl. But hats off to Patrick Mahomes with the way he's playing. He's a legitimate dual threat right now, man. There's no taking that away from him. This team does look way better, undisputably. But at the same time, like, and I know you like to bet the same way I do on sides if you're willing to dabble. And it's not always going to work. Like the Patriots last week, that didn't work out, the Bills. But a lot of times it does, where you don't want to pile on the side of the team that everybody is hammering. For example, the Cowboys smoke the Jets, right? And it's like, dude, who could possibly want to bet the Panthers here? Or who could possibly want to bet the Chiefs after losing on primetime? Mind you, everybody saw that game. Who would possibly want to bet the Chiefs the following week when the Lions are rolling? Who would want to bet like this team or that team? They're coming off a big win. It's like the other team's coming off a big loss. I like to look at it from the opposite side. I want to flip my mindset and be like, all right, this is every week is a brand new season in some sense, because at the end of the day, the New Orleans Saints could end up going 2-15, right? Andy, they could still cover in like over half of their games and nobody would be surprised by it, despite a 2-15 straight up record. So it doesn't actually mean anything with how bad they are. The spreads are set to even the matchup.
Do you think the Bills can win a Super Bowl this year?
Not as, honestly right now, and I'll be the first one.
All I'm saying is, can they win? Like, are they included in the pie chart of realistic Super Bowl winners?
Like, do I put them as high as I did a few weeks ago? No, not as they're currently constructed. They will get Milano back, but could they win a Super Bowl? Like, is it? Yeah, of course they could. Listen, man, the Chiefs won Super Bowls in years where they shouldn't have won Super. Right? The Chiefs were not so the best
all I'm
team
trying to say
year.
is they just fucking lost to the Atlanta Falcons, who I deem down there in Carolina Panthers territory. Don't give me that they have Drake London and Bijan Robinson. I don't trust that quarterback at all. I mean, they got shut out by Carolina. This, to me, is a bottom-of-the-barrel team, like bottom third easily in the NFL. And that's why when we were signing off last week, now they are.
No, dude, the Falcons are good.
It should not be possible to click true on you've been shut out by the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina Panthers.
It's 1 week, man.
Like, they were talking about benching him for Kirk Cousins after that performance. Like, that was a legitimate conversation. Couldn't do anything really in that second. So this obviously is mostly because of quarterback, because there are plenty of teams who have plenty of skill pieces around and they can't do much with it because of the quarterback. I look at them definitely as a bottom third team. If not, it's fine. They just beat a team who could win the Super Bowl outright. That shouldn't be possible, but it's absolutely possible in the NFL because it happens all the time. The Giants lost to the Saints. It might be the Saints' only win of the year. That same Giants team 4 days later beat the Super Bowl champions a week and a half prior, who didn't have a single loss. People are like, this is the best team ever. Now, all of a sudden, I hear Jalen Hurts is a glorified Russell Wilson. It's just, the recency is insane.
Yeah, I think that's the much better example. The Saints losing or beating the Giants and beating them handily, and then the Giants coming in and mopping up the Eagles. Like, Giants, we don't have to get into the Falcons.
Same. If Giants play the Falcons, the Giants would win. Like the Falcons are the worst team.
Hear me out, Andy. Hear me out. The Falcons are actually a good football team. Am I a full-out believer in Michael Penix? No. Look, we can revisit this at the end of the year. This will be fun.
Oh, we will.
Okay?
We will.
I'm happy to be wrong. This is not an overreaction to Monday's game, because I've been saying this about the Falcons all season long. Now, did I think the Falcons would come out, and did I think the Bills would come in after a bad home loss to a divisional opponent and step up? Yes, although the Patriots are a good team too. But the Falcons defense has never been that bad. The problem is their pass rush has been so, you want to talk about lower third. You're talking, cellar dwelling, just dumpster trash. All of last year, the year before, their pass rush has been terrible. They have a pass rush now, which means the rest of this entire defense is actually pretty good. Like, even in that Carolina game, Carolina scored 30, but those were all because the offense couldn't get the ball past their own 30. I'm just saying, keep an eye out.
Why couldn't they get it past their own 30?
On them so badly.
But why couldn't they get it past their own 30?
It was a bad game. They got some young players. It's a bad game. It's a bad. They came out and beat the Commanders the next week. handily.
Who are another scam.
That might be true. That might
if
be
you go
true.
back to me, like you, when I was shitting on this young crop of quarterbacks, you were like, what do you mean? Look, we have CJ Stroud. How do you watch that? And I said, this guy is a scam. Give it some time. Same type of thing. I need to see quarterbacks just like NHL goalies, 3 full seasons. And then you are qualified as a good quarterback.
You can't say Stroud's a scam when he has and me
as
blocking
to where
for
they
it.
put him. As to where they he was being compared to, like, what do you mean? Look at this unbelievable next crop
You're right. You did
of quarterbacks.
Say that. You did say that
2 weeks ago was like he's a bum.
You're right. But then you got to say he's a bum.
I said 2 weeks ago. No, people. I'm saying 2 weeks ago, people are like, he is a bum. He's being. Yeah. That was the narrative.
You're right. No, you're right. And I do remember you saying that they were comparing. I remember this conversation pretty vividly, like comparing him to the top in the league and all of that. And you were saying there's really only a handful of those guys. Most of them aren't mobile quarterback, although Stroud's not really, he's a pocket passer. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Where at the end of the day, Stroud is probably just like a slightly above average or average passer, which is correct. I think a very reasonable thing to say about him, right? And you're right. We crown people too quickly and we put them in the trash too quickly. Whereas you're absolutely also, it is a team. I hate to sound cliche, but like it is a team sport. If Stroud doesn't have an offensive line and all of his wide receivers are hurt outside of one of them, and you don't have a run game, yeah, things are going to go pretty poorly for you. And it's just the way it goes, man.
I'm going to ask you a question that I feel like you're not going to be able to answer honestly, which is tough because you pretty much will always give an honest answer and remove bias. But since this man has delivered you a Super Bowl, I just don't feel like you're going to be able to see this very clear.
I will.
If Jalen Hurts is on a non-stacked team, which is what the Eagles have been.
He's no good. But that's a lot of quarterbacks. I mean,
but it's different. It's different with him because it's like, he's got a winning record versus Mahomes. He's starting to be glorified as the MVP type of quarterback. And I'm sitting here seeing the Eagles do business, unbelievable. Every position, you've seen so many good players for multiple years. I mean, they lost Wentz and won a Super Bowl with a backup because they had so many good players at different positions, and they've kept doing it with solid work from the GM. It's almost like when things don't go well, he can't elevate the team above, what everybody around him, what everyone else is doing.
I fully agree. But I also believe that about the large majority of quarterbacks. I mean, even you look at Lamar Jackson in that Detroit game, they did score some points. Don't get me wrong. He had nowhere to run. Like the offensive line couldn't block. Imagine now you put like Patrick Mahomes behind the line that he had in the Super Bowl up against the Eagles. He didn't stand a chance in that game, right? And credit to the Eagles defense for sure. They were insane. But yeah, I made a statement, and you'll probably think of this as a serious hot take, but like I think you could have put like if you took last year's Philadelphia Eagles with Saquon Barkley, with the healthy offensive line, Jalen Carter in the middle of that defense, at 2 elite rookie cornerbacks, Darius Slay still on the team, all of these guys, right? CJ Gardner-Johnson, they were stacked from top to bottom. They brought Zach Bond in, and then mind you, they lost 4 key starters after they won the Super Bowl. That tends to happen. You probably could have put Justin Fields on that team. And I'm not saying they win the Super Bowl, but like if you put Justin Fields on that exact team, you change nothing else, right? You still have Kellen Moore. You still have everybody else. Justin Fields could if he took him to the Super Bowl, it wouldn't have surprised me at all. Would it have shocked you?
I guess that speaks highly of also what the Colts have been doing, kind of behind closed doors. Like you insert, Daniel Jones, this guy was infuriating to watch.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's completing, I believe, over 70% of his passes.
He has an offensive line.
You know what the better argument I think is, Dave? If they put him behind the number 15 team, where does he put them? Because you're right. Elevating the worst team is a tier only for like the Andrew Lucks. But putting a player behind the number 16 team, where does he end up? That's almost a better that's almost a better way to determine how good a quarterback would be. Okay, well, what would he do with a mid team? Would they just be mid, or would they elevate to like a top, 3 or 4 team in that conference?
That's actually a great way to look at it, because Tom Brady took many like 15 to 20 offenses and elevated them every week, right? Patrick Mahomes can absolutely elevate a 15 to 20 team. But yeah, that's a good way to look at it. If you put them on like the 29th to 32nd team, I'm not sure really anybody is going to thrive in that. But it's less, again, it's less like team. Look at offensive lines. Like, I still think if you asked a quarterback, would you rather have, and I don't know, like, would you rather have an elite offensive line and, middling pass catchers, or a terrible offensive line and elite pass catchers?
Oh,
I think a lot.
that will take zero. Yeah, that will take 0 seconds to determine.
Right. Because if you're a good enough quarterback, you're going to find ways to get guys the ball.
100%. And you also have more time. I mean, Saquon deserves his flowers for what he did last year. But I also saw Miles Sanders become a Pro Bowl running back behind that offensive line. And it's the same Saquon Barkley. But when those big holes, those huge holes aren't there, you go back to averaging 3 yards per carry. So I don't know. There are some things that, I don't know. You wait long enough, whether it's quarterbacks, running backs, I think eventually they play out. But, we talked about last week being an infestation. Usually, I mean, it was so much of an infestation that it gets people to actually want to start betting that. Do I need to talk people the other way this week, because now maybe they're too excited for all of those rats? Now we got this week's week 7. It was hard to find them, but I got them right before we filmed some donkey chart. They're going right, but you know how it goes. You paid me last week, you're going to pay me again. You got the New England Patriots, who I believe are taking on the Tennessee Titans. Is this game in Tennessee?
Yep.
Now let me let you know about what I like to call in the NHL the fired coach free win. I mean, it comes through 90% of the time. I'd have to go back and look in the NFL and see how frequently that works. You fire the coach, you get the random singular inspired performance.
Yeah.
I would never touch a game. I would never touch a favorite going against a fired coach. Maybe it works out. Worked out for all you favorite bettors last week. But if you need a reason to stay away from that 87%, the fired coach free win, at least in the NHL, is something that I would always bring to people's attention.
Yeah, I call it the dead cat bounce, but it's the same thing, man. I'm so many people are like, dude, we got to hammer the Pats this week, and I'm thinking, I don't know, man. You just lost a coach who was 4-19, and I think 4-19 against the spread too, which actually seems impossible. But yeah, I see. There's always, in my opinion, the possibility of a dead cat bounce. For those of you who don't know what it's essentially what Andy's saying, right? Like, you see a little bit of life. It's typically they're talking about like trading, right? So a stock just straight down, all red. And then you see a tiny bit of green and then back down and it flatlines and it's over. And
it's in horror movies. It's that Jamie Kennedy last scream moment where, Billy Loomis reaches up at the camera and then he gets that one final shot. So yeah, that's, I guess, what we're looking at here. The final Billy Loomis breath of life here.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been the example I used, but it's apt. That works.
Hey man, I will never, ever, ever pass up an obscure reference, ever.
I like it. I'm on the Minnesota Vikings this week, though. I promised all of my viewers and everyone, if you don't mind, over on Tails, where all of my picks free every week, and so many other great people. We just added a leaderboard, Andy. Got to get you posting some free picks over there.
I'll hop over there. I have no problem. I have no sponsors. Who's got? You think Gillette's over there saying, "Hey, Andy, can't go over and tell." I'll do whatever the hell I want. All right.
Well, we just got an algorithm.
Whatever the hell I want. I saw Jake. Jake is putting some. I call them GAA, goal assist parlays. So maybe I'll check some of those out. Those,
yeah,
couple of
I
those
want you
work.
guys.
It's not easy to hit those, by the way. That's not easy to hit those.
I want you to collab with them, but yeah, we just put an algorithm in too with the page where it's like it actually promotes the best picks, like the most well-reasoned picks and all that stuff. So that's going to go a long way in helping things out. But yeah, dude, I mentioned you and Jake the other day. I was like, these are my go-to hockey guys, and that's how it should be. But if you're not there, Andy's kind enough to throw the link in the description, and all the stuff over there is free, and you just create a free account. And we're building a cool platform. I really like it.
I'll start, dropping like a trick or treater on all these places. Don't worry about it. I'll be over there at some point.
My man.
All right. So what the hell are we talking about here? So the Eagles are playing the Vikings. Okay.
Carson Wentz, little revenge. I actually saw Carson Wentz the first time he faced the Philadelphia Eagles after the trade. It was in Landover, Maryland. Miserable stadium where the Washington Commanders play. And Eagles sacked him like 7 times. The game was never even competitive. But this is different. He's on a good team now. I assume he starts over McCarthy. If Mitchell's out, that means they have to start Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. Andy, to some people that may not mean anything, but those guys have been, really, really bad. Really bad. So when you lose your shutdown corner, which it seems more likely than not that it happens, and you have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison on the other side, I don't know, dude. It just, like, maybe the Eagles proved me wrong, and then I have to reassess everything again. But from the way they've looked in recent weeks, even in their wins when they were 4-0, this was simply not a team that looked strong. It looked like they were holding on and getting wins that they otherwise didn't really deserve. And this is coming from me as a diehard Eagles fan. So that's where I stand.
So look at some of these. So the Panthers went from you're throwing your money away to now they're getting 80% of the same people who said you were throwing your money away.
On the road, dude. I bet the Jets. I threw them in a money line underdogs round robin up over on Tails. You should bet that one with me. It'll be fun. I know you're not a big
Panthers can lose any game.
Any game. And now you're betting them, like you said, 79% of tickets on the Panthers as road favorites. People have counted the Jets out like they're fully dead now. And I understand that, but also they did hold the Broncos to 13 points last week. Like, it was just, they have a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Aaron Glenn makes some terrible, I don't think he's cut out to be a head coach, to be honest. They should have got rid of him when they got rid of Callahan, who also needed to go. I have to, just on principle, I got to take the Jets this week, Andy.
Let me ask you something. Who are the Lions playing?
They're at home against Baker Mayfield and the Bucs. 5.5 point favorites. Detroit
if you can remember, what do I usually bet against when facing the Bucs? I usually go under on one, then over on another, because I'm always weary of the Bucs run defense, which has seemingly been good for 75 years.
Yeah, they.
So I guess I'll just answer
every year.
Yeah, so naturally, I look to pass catchers. I'm going to bring up one of your guys. He's screwed everyone. I'm telling you, every week when I'm watching, they've had a couple primetime games, and my friends kind of discuss who they're going to take. Everyone keeps saying it's going to be the Jameson Williams week. His line is low once again, but there was a trickle of life. He finally had more than 2 catches in a week.
Yeah.
He had 2 catches, 1 catch, 2 catches. He finally had more than 2 against the team that always stops the run and a team that you can kind of throw on once again. Is this your alt week for Jamie? Because he has to pay you back. I know he owes you money. He owes this guy money. He owes everyone money. So if you're going to take him, I might start on the second ladder up. I may refuse 70, 80, 90, 100. How are we feeling about that?
Yeah, the 1 week I bet him over 38.5. He got to 40 on 2 receptions. So that
he got there.
But then I laddered him the next week up to 100 against the Bengals. He had 1 reception for 9 yards. So,
hey,
so no I guess you know bet. What? I guess I'm actually, you know what? I'm break even on Jameson Williams. So maybe this will put me in the black. I don't hate it. I see what you're saying. The Tampa Bay Bucks are a pass funnel defense. We just saw Kendrick Bourne light them up last week. The previous week we saw JSN light them up. Jameson Smith is still good. They also, if you notice, they were getting in the ball in interesting ways last game. It wasn't just like deep shots and stuff. We don't have the prop up yet, but his 100-yard ladder is going to be nuts. And he had 108 yards on two receptions.
I saw his standard line right before we started, which is,
what is it, like 38?
I think it was right around there. I think it was 38 and a half. Maybe FanDuel was 41. It was something along those lines. But one deep shot's essentially clearing that. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, man. He's got it. I mean, eventually he's got to do it. But
thanks. We're really coming towards the end right now. We're coming towards the end of the show. Yeah, we got Swayze. You see this?
You know why
you
this
see how
is?
me and him are stuck right now? Thanks, Swayze. Thanks.
You got to leave that part in. So don't actually edit that out. Let people know what you're talking about.
I'm not editing that out.
That one.
I'm not
editing
it because he's still doing it. See, look, they think we're on break. They think this isn't going to be in, so it's clear again. This is such bullshit. There it is.
You know,
and now he's back because he knows we're filming. Go ahead, Dave.
All I did was try to refresh a web page to see what the line was. Like now in StreamYard, you can't even touch anything, but I did get there. 42 and a half on FanDuel for Jameson Williams. Crazy.
Oh, okay, that's doable. All right, we may have got to something. Don't you ever refresh a page ever again. Never refresh a page off. That's it. We finally.
But that's the first time I did it all
this.
show. That's the first time all show. So whatever happened earlier, I wasn't on the controls. So it was something else as well. It's
so I think it's when we have a graphic up on screen. So that's one extra item in there, plus you using your CPU for some, FanDuel lines. What a scam this all is. But hopefully this episode wasn't a scam because now we've reached the conclusion here. Thank you guys so much. I know this episode was a little shorter. I got to keep these shorter because I'm doing a ton of stuff with the NHL right now. It makes it easier for me because do I get to call an editor? You think that ghost is going to edit it? No, I got to do it. So we're going to keep it a little shorter. And also it's so early. There are so few props available. But that's what we got, Dave's Tails platform, and then I will eventually look through it and fight. Brashard Smith over on receiving. How about that? There you go. You want to make $1 million? There's your quick $1 million right there. Dave, if there's anything you want to say on the way out.
Nah, man. Appreciate you guys. Andy, appreciate you as always. Come check us out, tails.bet. It's free. Andy posted the link down there. And soon we're going to get Andy throwing a couple of his NHL spots in there, and I'm excited for that. I'm just putting him on the spot. He never needs to do that. But thank you guys as always.
I'm really starting not to give a shit about anything. Anything. Everybody hits that point. I'm just sorry. Hey, you can't, Andy, you can't. I can do whatever I want. All right, guys. And that means ending this episode right now. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy. Good luck with all your sniffs this weekend. Later.
Swayze, if you're out there, I need you to stop churning those clay pots and listen. Last night, I asked my girlfriend what her number was, and she told me that someone's past is their past. You imagine trying to use that excuse in court? Hashtag SMH. I need you to tell me. I can handle it. How many guys has she been with? 3? 7? 37?
Okay.
Lips? Oh no, the eggplant!
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Say JK. Say JK.
Write it down.
N-A-G-I?
Write it down.
I don't know what that is. I've been off the chat room circuit since Hanson ruined it for all of us.
Stop.
What am I gonna do? She's turning 30 next year. You know she's gonna want a ring on the finger.
Danger, danger.